Alrighty. Well, hello everybody and welcome back. I am Donna Irvin, as you guys know, and welcome to my coffee break conversations. And yes, I have my coffee today. Actually, it's cold coffee. Drinking that today. So cheers to all of you, whatever you're drinking today. And I had thought this video, I had been all week long, I have been doing some really extensive listening to podcasts and listening to just really personal development stuff and just really getting my mind in another state. And the thing is, what I had come across and what stood out to me that I wanted to talk to you about this week is success, okay? And how you are, what are some of the ways you're holding you back from success? What is holding you back? And there's a lot of things with people that, and even myself, that hold us back from doing what we truly want to do and from being successful. And we kind of, like, I know for me, it was weird because I've spent many years trying to figure out why I can't move forward, trying to figure out why I get to a certain point, I climb a little bit, get to a certain point, and then bam, I get slapped back down again. And it's like I couldn't get past that one thing. I couldn't get past it. And it didn't matter what I did. The thing is, I have tried so many things in the past. It didn't matter what business I tried to go after, what business I was in. It didn't matter where I went or what I was doing. The same thing would play over and over and over again. It was like I guess it was like a recorder where you press play, rewind, and then back, and play, rewind. It's like over and over and over and over and over again. This kept happening. And I got really frustrated, right? I was frustrated because I would sit there and go, and I'd cry. I'd get to the point where I just bust out in tears and go, why is this happening to me? Why can I move forward? Why, you know? And I could never figure it out. So after a lot of mindset shifts, after a lot of really going deep and taking a look within myself, what was going on, and after a lot of personal development and coaching, listening to coaches and coaching, just all that kind of stuff, it got me really finding what the heck was going on. And it all lies in one word, mindset, right? And a lot of people say, oh, here we go again with the mindset stuff. And although I'm not going to talk a lot about that today as far as mindset, I really want to go into some of the things of like what I've experienced and what my husband's experienced. And I know that other people have too, with why they can't seem to get forward in their business. And I know you guys, if you've kept up with listening to me and everything and listening to my videos and everything, I've always seemed to go back to that one word that holds people back, and that's fear, right? Fear is a lot of the reason why we can't be successful, but it goes deeper than fear, okay? It goes deeper than just someone telling you, oh, it's just fear. It's just fear. It's only fear that's holding you back. Okay, it is. But then they're going, okay, fear, well, what fear? I have no idea. And a lot of the times, what I've discovered, it is an internal thing that is learned. We learn this as a child. Like, for example, I'll go back, and this story that I'm about to share with you is very personal, and it's by no means any bash on anybody or anything. But, for example, when I was a kid, my mom and dad, you know, my dad worked in carpentry, and he actually owned his own business for a really long time. And I was really little. I was like, oh gosh, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And although I don't remember the age of 3, but I remember the ages of 4, 5, and 6. And during those times, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she took care of me. And my dad went out and worked, you know, back when that was a really popular thing to do. And, you know, at that time it was a lot of people did that. And my dad was bringing in a lot of money. And we got to a point to where money was never an issue. Okay, we could go out. My parents can go out and get all these fancy things. They could get furniture. They can buy new cars every 2 years. We had a nice, pretty house. I had all the toys in the world that I could ever want. I had a closet full of toys. I had like a canopy bed. They gave me the master bedroom. I was an only child. So yeah, I had like everything, right? But it was also, I was disciplined. You know, my parents were very disciplined too at the same time with this. But money was never an issue. We never had to worry about it. Well, down the road, after the age of about 7, 8, okay, my dad had some medical problems, and he had a degenerative issue in his neck, that actually a disability that prevented him from really working like he wanted to. And he worked from miscellaneous jobs here and there, and after, you know, he couldn't do his business anymore, and he let that go, and he worked some jobs here and there. And then it come to a point in time where all of a sudden, bam, it was so bad he could not work anymore. And he was to a point to where if he did, the doctors kept saying that eventually it's going to pinch the nerve off in your neck and he could be paralyzed from the neck down. So my dad's like, oh my gosh, whoa, right? Well, anyway, long story short, he couldn't work anymore. And so he had to have other means of, you know, the disability part and all the stuff he had to do. And then what happened is it took that money level that we had and used up all the savings and everything, and it took us down to like virtually not anything at all. And we were struggling as a family. And so the point of me telling you this is not anything bad on anyone. It's just that's what happened. That's just the things that happened. And because of that, money became an issue, right? Money became a problem. And as I was growing up, that's what we had to watch this, and we had to watch what we did, and my parents watched this, and, you know, we had to watch what kind of food we got, and our bills, and I mean, the whole thing, right? All the things. And then in my mind, I started developing fear, even though I was 6, 7, 8, 9, teenager, right? I didn't know this was happening in my own head because I was a kid, right? I would play, and I would go out, and I didn't have to really worry about what my parents worried about. But it did still trickle down, because what happened is I grew a fear and an anxiety around money. Not a bad thing, not, like I said, again, not to be taken wrong or anything, and it wasn't their fault, it's just what happened, and money became a problem. So I developed at a very young age a fear of money. And it's not the fear of having money, it's the lack of money. And so what that did to me over the years is, as I grew up, got married and everything, I was always this thing around money, like, oh my gosh, okay, we're not going to have money for this. How much does that cost? How much does this cost? Oh my gosh, we're not going to be able to pay this bill. Oh no, how are we going to do this? And I mean, this cycle just continued. And guys, I still in my mind, I still have my times where I go back to that, because I was so used to that for so many years, right? And, you know, you're thinking, okay, well, how does that have to do with holding you back from success? Well, if you have that type of money issue and you're scared of the money, the lack of, that is going to keep you stuck from success, because you're not going to really know how to get over that fear of feeling where you did with all those years with money, like I have, you know. And I'm sure that everyone has, not everyone, but I'm sure a lot of people have experienced the same thing. And so anyway, as I was working my jobs after I got married and everything, and we were actually, my husband and I were doing pretty well. I mean, working corporate jobs, we both worked 2 different jobs, and the money together was really good. I mean, we had a nice house, our bills were all paid, we had money extra to go do whatever, go out to eat, you know, whatever we wanted. We had enough, and we had extra. But I still had that fear, you know, and the, oh my gosh, you know, even though we had enough. And then it got to a point to where, you know, as you've heard my story, my husband actually had a back injury. I told you this before, a while back, and which put him out of not being able to do what he needed to do for his job. And so I was trying to build a business at that time, and actually I was trying to do that before, and I struggled all these years trying to build a business for ourselves. And I could never, that going back to what I said a while ago, is I could never figure out why it wasn't working, right? Why? It didn't matter what I did. I couldn't get it past it. And I realized, actually, to be completely honest with you guys, I really started noticing this in the last 2 years. Yes, I know. Crazy, right? Because how many years did I spend struggling and not figuring it out? And what I had discovered is it's all, for me, it was all about the money mind shift. I had to put priorities different as far as how I viewed and saw money. So instead of going out there, in fact, you and I were just having a discussion a while ago before this video of that same thing, which ties perfectly into this. Mm-hmm. For me, you know, for Toby, it wasn't so much this way, and he had a different view on this. But for me personally, it was always about the money. It's always about the money. It was always about, we got to make it now. We got to make money. We got to make money. We got to make money. We have to make it. Oh my gosh, you know, paranoid mode. And then I thought, okay, in this last year, year and a half, I've had a significant transformation in some stuff. Personally, it is not about the money, guys. It is not about the things that you think it's about is really not it. Okay, like I thought for me not being successful was not the money, but it was for me. Okay, until I was able to make that shift of turning it around to say, if you love what you do, you find your passion, you find what you love, you find where you fit in this world, your purpose, where you want to go to take your business to the next level. It's all about in that moment that you're working, but you don't feel like it's work because you love it. The money will come. So I know for me, with working our business and everything, the money, you know, the money comes, the money starts to come in, and things start to happen and shift differently because you're not in that of, oh gosh, you know, the bill's due. And, you know, we're kind of talking about that this morning, right?
There had been instances clear back in the house that, you know, and this is, you know, nothing against anything, but this is just what happened because you haven't had the shift yet.
Yeah.
Is there were instances I already had all the bills paid and you were having a panic attack about paying the bills.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Everything's already paid.
Yeah.
You know?
I did, you know, and like...
I mean, naturally, we don't have the money for you to run out and buy a new Rolls Royce or something, but, I mean, come on.
Well, it's a work in progress, you know. And that's the thing about, you know, a lot of the times when, especially now when we have this new, there's a lot of people starting to get on the entrepreneur bandwagon, right? There's a lot of people jumping in that because they're sick of the corporate world. They're sick of having a boss. They're sick of the paycheck, living paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of people, especially what I would say in the last 5-10 years, especially in the last, I would say more so in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
People have been, a lot of people now, you will start to see people working at home, working online. Because that's so popular, is people are noticing that, you know, you can be successful in other ways besides just having a job, right? But the problem is that people experience is a lot of the mind shifts that they're used to being an employee. Mm-hmm. They're used to getting a paycheck like every Friday or every 2 weeks or whatever, you know. They're used to that coming in, and they're not used to having, they're used to having someone tell them, excuse me, what to do and how to do it and everything else. And then when people make that shift of jumping into being an entrepreneur, they don't have, you know, they're wondering, okay, their paychecks are not coming in. They're not having someone tell them what to do. The security, they feel like there's no security there because, again, they are their own boss and they have to figure out how to have that I can't say that right, mind shift change. Sorry, guys, I try to say that really fast.
Mind shift, mindset.
Yeah. And they don't understand why they're not being successful as an entrepreneur because you can't just jump into it with the same mindset that you had a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, way back when you were a kid, you can't have that same mindset. You've got to change your mindset about things. And that's what happened to me is like you said a while ago, we had it all there. We had the money. We had money in savings. We had the money to do whatever the heck we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have that shift. And I was always in that mode of, back when I was my little 8-year-old girl, I was inside my 8-year-old, well, I would say 8, 10, before. Early teens is when that was really the most impactful age.
Little brat stage.
Let's just say 13, okay?
Little brat stage.
Yeah. I'm like the little 13-year-old girl going, "Oh, myself!" I go back to that and it's like, no, Donna, So really, I think, and for everybody, it may not be a money issue. Maybe for you, it is not money. Maybe it's something else that's holding you back. And that could be like maybe a limiting belief you had about yourself, or maybe a limiting belief that you were taught as a kid, like, oh, you're not supposed to do that, or you're a little girl, you do not act that way, or, for whatever reason, you grew up with a certain mindset about something, and then you carry that into your adulthood, and then you try to apply that limiting belief to a business, being an entrepreneur, working for yourself, and you're carrying those limiting beliefs with you because maybe they served you, right? Maybe back then they served you and that limiting belief was working for you like a charm, okay? It was like your best friend. It's like this little puppy, this little stuffed dog here, right? You were holding your limiting belief so tight. You were just like, I'm never letting you go again. Never letting you go, right? Well, okay, then, I know this is a funny example. But then as you become an adult and you start working your own business, you're finding that limiting belief you held so tight and dearly in your arms is actually biting you in the butt. It's like this dog going about in your backside and taking a big chomp out of it, right? I mean, seriously. Yeah, guys, sorry, my stuffed dog. I can't have real dogs because I'm allergic to them, so I have my stuffed ones. So excuse me for my childhood moment here. But seriously, guys, going back to a serious note, that limiting belief can come around and then, bam, you're stuck. You can't get past it. And you've got to look, you kind of got to look back and do an evaluation with yourself. Open yourself up and be really open with yourself and try to figure out where that's coming from. Why are you not being successful? And it's going to be different for everybody, right? It's going to be personal to you. Once you can really peel away the layers and get down to the bare core of where this is coming from, you're always going to be on that vicious circle of being stuck and not being able to move forward. Until you expose that crap, okay? And you get down to it and you expose it and you recognize it and you know it's causing it. At that moment, you will be able to start making different my gosh, I can't even say that today, guys. Mindset shifts. This is terrible. I can't even say it right, guys. But seriously, you'll be able to start really realizing, oh my gosh, I need to let go of that limiting belief. I need to let go of that scared little girl or boy inside that was scared of the money, of problems, of money. Or the way society saw you. Maybe you were not confident as a kid and you felt shame. And you felt shamed for being this way or that way. Or maybe as a child or as a young adult you saw yourself this way and people go, oh no, that's just horrible. Shame on you. And that can be caused from shame. And that's a limiting belief that can hold you back. If you're feeling shame about yourself and you think others are shaming you, you are definitely going to stay that way in this vicious circle, right? So there's a lot of things. There's, I think, a lot of things that can hold you back. And I'm not going to go through, I mean, you can literally write a book on stuff that our human experience that we have had with limiting beliefs. Everybody has them. I don't care who you are. Everybody has limiting beliefs. And, you know, it's not a thing of pointing fault. We don't want to sit there, you know, you don't want to look back in your childhood or your younger self and go, oh, well, I believe that because of them, or I believe that because of her or him or you, or it's not a blame game. Okay? It's nobody's fault, really. It's just the way society is, the way society has taught people as a whole. You know, everyone follows each other, and we kind of like do the same things, right? And it's our job, individually, each and every person individually, it's our job to figure out for our own selves how to get out of that, how to clear that limiting belief that's holding you back. You know, and get yourself kind of in a different mindset so you can start seeing this. And, you know, once I made that shift, and I'm not perfect, guys. Yes, I have my days where I wake up and I go, oh my gosh, you know. And then I have my days where I wake up and I'm going, yeah, I can do this. Crap, yes, I can do this, right? That's life. We all go through ups and downs like this. And that is the human experience. That's what we all, everyday life is like that. But again, we have to peel back the layers and find out what's holding us back, okay? So now that I have blabbed, like, I don't know, I really got into this. Toby's over there being totally silent. I think there's a couple of things that he said, but what do you, did you have any other things, like maybe from a guy's point of view that, you know, that might help others out there deal with why they can't just move forward and stuff?
The only thing that I would add to that is be aware that it's not just an experience with a money type issue that can cause this same type of effect.
Yeah.
There can be, you know, certain instances where you've had really good ideas in the past and you're just told that's not going to work, that's not going to work, that's not going to work. Nobody's ever going to pay for that. Nobody's ever going to pay for that. There's no money in this. There's no money in that.
You're not smart enough. You're not,
yeah. Those kind of things will create the type of blockages that will, in effect, do the same thing. You know, after a different fashion, but it will, in effect, do the same thing. And it's not until you sit back and realize that, you know, that the truth is, there is nothing stopping you. Except you.
Except you, yeah.
Okay? And that's literally it. There's nothing stopping you but you. No one's gonna hop out of the wall and say, no, you can't do that. Okay? Besides, if they did hop out of the wall and say that,
you might have a ghost problem.
Yeah. You got other problems going on in that house.
Yeah.
But
excuse me.
It is your life. And until you push back past some of the things that, in comments that was said to you when you were young, you end up having these issues and they continue to go. You know, it could be as simple as your parents or siblings wanting to keep babying you after a fashion,
or trying
to protect
protecting you. Yeah.
you know, doing everything in their power to keep you safe, but they're not letting you do what needs to happen for you to grow.
And it could totally be, all in love. A lot of the times,
unintentional.
It's in love. Yeah, they're not doing it, on purpose to just hold you back, saying, "No, you're not going to do it because I said so."
See, that right there is a different story altogether.
Yeah, it could be out of love and protecting you because they think, "Oh my gosh, you're going outside the normal that we taught you, or you're going outside what we had taught."
I wouldn't do that because, what if something happens?
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah.
Don't do that because you don't know enough of how to do it. Okay, don't do this because of this.
Yeah.
And it's true. A lot of times, the family that really loves you, they will say things like that not out of intention to hurt you, but out of every intention to protect you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you need those experiences. You need to know that you could step out and do it.
And that's how we learn.
If they're trying to protect you to the point of keeping you from jumping off a bridge without any safety gear, hey.
Yeah.
That is a genuine protection there.
Exactly. Or walking out in front of a car or something, or like, "Hey, get out of the way," That's totally different. Yeah, I agree. And I think it's just hard because, when the people, parents and you have, if you have young children right now, you're wanting to do everything you can to make them happy, to protect them, to love them, and everything like that. And that's great. That's what we need to be doing. But you also need to allow for your kids to experience life and start to learn and grow as to what if they're having an interest in something that's good, and they have a certain talent, let them go with that. Let them run with it. Don't be like, "Oh, well, you can't," like you said, "No, you can't do that. Oh, that's stupid. Oh, that's dumb. You'll never," And in fact, it's funny because my mom and I were having a bit of a conversation yesterday about this. In a way, I was kind of showing her some of the stuff I've been doing and everything, and where I want to go, and I told her she even come from a background of that kind of thing where, "Oh, you're not good enough, you're not gonna be able to do that, you're stupid." She would have had some of that happen to her when she was a kid, and it's like it impacted, it impacts your life even though you don't think it impacts your life later down the road. And so yeah, there's a lot of things that can be holding you back from success, guys. And our best advice to you, and you're right, the only thing I mentioned the money thing because that was me personally, but there, like Toby said, there can be so many more things that you have to look at as to what's going on with yourself. And you have to come from a place of no judgment, because I think sometimes what we'll do as a person, we'll look at ourselves and go, "Okay, why am I experiencing this? Why am I not moving forward?" And then we get judgmental about ourselves, and if we find what's truly bugging us, we'll go, "Oh, no, we'll just put up this wall and start making judgments about ourselves, and we'll shame ourselves, going, 'Shame on you for doing that. That was stupid to think that,' That's just hurting yourself more. Don't be judgmental and shame yourself.
And also, part of going to that judgment of yourself, and a lot of people do it all the time, and it's not necessarily the reality of the situation. It's not necessarily true, and and most of the time it's not even what they mean. But say they drop something, and they go, "Oh, you idiot." They call themselves an idiot.
You drop something.
Yeah, you drop something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it does not seem like much, but in the manner of your own psyche, it means a lot.
Yeah.
You know, calling yourself stupid, or you forget something. It's like, why can't I ever remember this? You know, that's not good for your psyche neither.
And I've done that before, not realizing. You know, I think we all do it from time to time. Everybody, I think, gets to that point where they're like, you know. But it's just consciously, you've got to keep it kind of, when you do that, you kind of keep it conscious in your mind, catch yourself saying it and go, oh, wait, no. It's just called it's just life, right?
Mm-hmm.
We drop something. That's like all week long I've been dropping things left and right. Literally, guys. You know, and I mean, it's just life. We just have to get past it and say, you know, whatever. Just, it's not a big deal. So what if we drop something, you know? But this subject is huge, really. This subject is one of those that you can, again, write a book or 2 or 3 or 4 on, because it can go so deep. But I think, you know, hopefully this has kind of helped you guys to, if you're feeling frustrated right now, if you're feeling like you're stuck, you're feeling like you're not good enough, you don't think you can do it, you're getting all these negative in your head,
vibes,
you're getting
thoughts.
negative vibes, negative talk. This is a good subject as to really evaluate yourself. That's all I can say, guys. I had to do it with me, with my own self. And frankly, it's not easy. I'm not going to tell you it's a walk in the park for yourself. It's not. There's times silently that, you know, not even with, that I don't even tell Toby sometimes. I silently suffer, or not suffer, but silently in myself. It's been a struggle for me to really try to get myself out of that mode and out of that kind of mindset. And once you start having those breakthroughs, like I've been seeing more breakthroughs with myself, and once you start seeing that, it starts getting you out of that downward spiral, and you start spiraling up. And then from there you can improve, okay? And it's not easy. There's been days that within myself I've battled my own self. It's like I have this someone, you know, me on one shoulder and then the bad me on the other shoulder, and they're just like back and forth trying to chew each other up.
Well, right? here's a sneaky little trick. Say, you know, unlike Donna, you can't figure out what it is. Okay, yeah. Unlike Donna, you can't figure it out. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know how to address it because you don't know what it is. Then take another approach and start congratulating yourself on each success. Okay? So, it's summer. Say you want to take up bike riding. Okay? So you go for a ride and you get back. Instead of saying, oh crap, that killed me. Oh, I don't know about this. Just say, yes, I actually did it. I actually did it. I actually went out for a bike ride that I wanted to go ride. Okay, a small success. Okay, a small plus. You know, so, you know, instead of, you know, saying how bad you were at riding your bike, when you get back, you just sit there and say, damn, I'm good. You know, damn, I'm good. And then next time you go out riding, you do a little bit better in that, and damn, I'm good. Okay? You make an egg on the stove. You know, you sit there and eat it, it's like, damn, I'm good. Okay?
That was the best egg ever.
Yeah. That was a good egg, you know. It doesn't matter if you oversalted it, put too much pepper. Does not matter, just, it was a good egg, you know. Why was it a good egg even though, you put too much salt or too much pepper? Because you learned that you put too much salt and too much pepper. You can make it better. Yeah. That's why it's a good egg.
So, I mean, just little things. It doesn't have to be huge. We're not talking, we're not talking huge stuff. And for some people, it can be huge. You know, everybody's different. So yeah, and like, you know, even like, and I think we'll close with this.
But yeah, things like that, the idea with that is it starts opening up your mind to think what's actually causing issues.
And eventually, it'll be revealed to you. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, it may not be next year. But if you keep working and to better yourself, you're right, you know, better yourself a little bit each day. Congratulate yourself for the tiniest, smallest things, even though you go, oh, that's so stupid, why would I do that? No, no, no. Congratulate yourself that you woke up and living another day. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you're breathing, your heart's working, you're alive. That in itself is a success, right? I mean, we could be dead. You're still living. You're still here.
There's worse.
Right? There's worse, yeah. And I've had to come to that realization, too, because there are times, guys, in my past couple of years especially, there's a couple of mornings I did not want to get out of bed. I mean, I have problems getting up in the morning because I'm not a morning person, but I mean, aside from that, there were times that I really never wanted to get out of bed because I'm like, what's the point? Why? Why should I get out of bed when it's just going to be crap? I thought that for a while, and I just like, whatever, you know? And I got to thinking, no, you know, stop doing that, because you are living, Donna. You know, you say to yourself, you are living. You have another day. You have another day to have another chance to make it better. So the littlest thing, guys, can make the biggest difference down the road. And I hope this has helped. I really do, because I think as people, we all struggle. It doesn't matter who we are. You know, you don't sit there and look at, you know, we can look all day on Facebook and look at people's perfect lives and think, oh, I want to be him or I want to be her because their life's perfect. No. Life is not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But we all are here for a reason, and we need to make each and every day count. We need to make each and everything that we do count. And yeah, I mean, you will, once you start changing that about yourself and about how you see things, other things will start to happen, and they'll almost happen automatically. I mean, I've opened up, I have learned more, I would say, about myself and about the mindset and everything more in the last year and year and a half than I ever have. Ever. Because I had things more open up to me now, and I'm allowing it to open up to me and be revealed to me. So I think with that being said, guys, did you have anything else more that you wanted to say before we close?
No.
Okay. All right, guys. So again, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Kind of a little deep today, but I think it was really good. I know we totally enjoy doing these videos for you. And guys, if you have anybody out there that's struggling, you know, feel free to share this video with them. Make comments down below on YouTube here. It'll be in Facebook. You guys can make comments and share this video with someone who may need it, who may really need to hear this. So you guys have a really wonderful, wonderful day. Have a good weekend. And stay tuned for next week, where I'll be back again for my coffee break conversations. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.